Good morning, students. Welcome to online classes. Second is CEC syllabus. I will give you in PDF format. In commerce, we have 5 chapters, and in accountancy, we have 10 chapters. Today, we will learn about consignment from accountancy. Consignment. Consignment is a form of business. In consignment, goods are transferred from one place to another place for selling the goods through some agents on the basis of commission is called consignment. In consignment, there are two parties. They are consignor and consignee. Consignor and consignee. Consignor is the owner of the goods. Consignee is a agent. Now we will look at some features of consignment. Features of consignment account. Features of consignment. The first feature is parties. Parties. In consignment, there are two parties, consignor and consignee. Consignor, the person who sends goods to the consignee is known as consignor. The person who receives goods from the consignor is known as consignee. The second feature is relationship. So the relationship between consignor and consignee is principal and agent. So the relationship between consignor and consignee, principal and agent. The third feature is ownership. Ownership. So in consignment, goods are transferred from one place to from consignor to consignee, but consignor is the owner of such goods. So consignee is just an agent. The fourth feature is risk. So all the risk relating to consignment are borne by the consignor only. So in consignment, there is a profit or loss or any risk. So ultimately borne by the consignor. The fifth feature is expenses. Expenses. So in consignment, there is some expenses. So all the expenses. So consignor pays all the expenses relating to consignment. In some cases, after goods are reached to the godown of the consignee, consignee pays some expenses, but he recovered that expenses from consignor. So ultimately, all the expenses relating to consignment are borne by the consignor only because he is the owner of such goods. Sixth feature is closing stock. Closing stock. Any unsold stock remains with consignee belongs to the consignor. In any unsold stock remains with consignee belongs to the consignor. So these are the features of consignment. So now we will look at some important documents in consignment. Important documents in consignment, they are pro forma of invoice and account sales. Pro forma of invoice. This is a this is a statement prepared by consignor and sent to the consignee along with goods. So this is a statement prepared and sent by consignor, prepared and sent by consignor to the consignee along with goods. Along with goods. In pro forma of invoice contains description of the goods consigned, description about goods consigned, the details about how much quantity and how much quality and what are the price of such goods. So all these information are recorded in or prepared in pro forma of invoice. So once again I will tell you, pro forma of invoice prepared by consignor and sent to the consignee along with goods. Account sales. Account sales prepared by consignee and forward to consignor after completion of the sale proceeds or periodically. So this is the statement prepared by consignee and sent to the consignor after completion of sales or periodically. This statement contains all the information about sales and unsold stock and consignee commission and consignee any expenses are incurred by consignee. So all this information is recorded in this statement. So this statement sent by the consignee to the consignor. So these are the important documents in consignment. Now we will look at commission in consignment. Commission. So commission, the remuneration paid by consignor to consignee is called for the purpose of selling the goods. It is known as commissions. So commission is a remuneration paid by consignor to consignee for the purpose of selling goods according to consignor's instructions. In consignment, commission can be divided into three types. There are three types of commissions in consignments. They are ordinary commission. Second one is delegate commission. And third one is overriding commission. Overriding commission. Ordinary commission. This commission is provided by consignor to the consignee for selling of the goods. This is calculated on total sales as a fixed percentage. Delegate commission. So what is delegate commissions? When goods are sold on credit, there is a chance of bad debts. In case of bad debts, there will be loss. So that loss will be borne by consignor. So in case consignee sold goods on credit, there is a chance of there is a risk of bad debts. So if there is any bad debts, so consignor will lose. So in order to avoid this risk, consignor provide an additional commission to the consignee, that is called delegate commission. Before provide delegate commission, consignor takes the guarantee from the consignee on the credit sales. So this is the information about delegate commission. So this is also calculated on total sales, not only credit sales. That delegate commission is calculated on total sales as a fixed percentage. Third one is overriding commission. So this is extra commission. This is allowed by consignor to the consignee to encourage the consignee to work hard to increase sales when new products are launched. Launch in the market. So when new product is launched in the market, so there is a special efforts required by consignee. So that is the purpose consignor offer consignee a overriding commission. So it is also calculated on total sales along with normal commission at a fixed percentage. So this is the information about commission in consignment. So now we will look at some expenditure in consignment. Expenses. So in consignment there are two types of expenses. They are non-recurring expenses and second one is recurring expenses. So there are two types of expenses, that is non-recurring expenses and recurring expenses. Non-recurring expenses. So all the expenses incurred to bring the goods to the godown of the consignee are treated as non-recurring expenses or direct expenses. So all the expenses are incurred to bring the goods to the godown of the consignee are treated as non-recurring expenses. These expenses increases the total value of the goods. While calculating closing stock, these non-recurring expenses should be added to the cost of goods. Generally, the example of non-recurring expenses are transport expenses, cartage expenses, insurance, freight. So are the examples of non-recurring expenses. Recurring expenses. So all the recurring expenses are incurred by consignee after reach the goods to the godown of the consignee. So these expenses not increase the value of the total value, and we should not take these expenses while calculating closing stock. So these expenses should not add to the cost of goods while calculating closing stock. Example of recurring expenses are godown rent, godown insurance, salesman salaries, consignee commission, so etc. are the examples of recurring expenses. So there are two types of expenses, non-recurring expenses and recurring expenses. So these are the expenses. Now we look at about accounting treatment in consignment. Accounting treatment. Accounting treatment. So consignor maintain 3 accounts in the books of consignor. Consignor maintain 3 accounts. They are consignment account, consignee personal account, and goods sent on consignment account. Consignee maintains only one record, that is consignor account. So consignor maintains only one account, that is consignor account. Consignee maintains 3 accounts. They are consignment account, consignment account, consignee personal account, third one is goods sent on consignment account. So these 3 accounts are maintained by consignor in his books. So consignment account. So consignor prepares consignment accounts to know the information about how much profit or how much loss he got from a particular consignment goods consigned. Consignment account. In consignment account, all the expenses are should be debited to consignment account, and all the incomes should be credited to consignment account. So this is a nature of nominal account. So trading account, profit and loss account rules are applicable to consignment account. Consignee account. So okay. All the expenses should be debited to consignment account, and all the incomes should be credited to consignment accounts. The difference between debit side and credit side of the consignment account is either profit or loss. Consignee personal account. This is a personal account in nature. Sales should be debited to consignee account, consignee personal account, and consignee commission, consignee any expenses are incurred by consignee, or any advance given by consignee should be credited to consignee accounts. That the difference between debit side and credit side of consignment personal account is the balance due to or due from consignee on goods consigned. So consignee prepares consignee personal account to know the balance due to or due from consignee on particular goods consigned. The third account is goods sent on consignment accounts. Goods sent on consignment account is should be created when goods are sent to consignment account, and this balance end of this year, this balance is transferred to purchase account or trading accounts. Consignee maintains only one account, that is consignor account. Consignee maintains only one account, that is consignor account. Consignor account. So consignee prepares this account to know the information about how much balance is due to consignor or due from consignor on particular goods consigned. So this is so these are the accounting treatment in consignments. In next classes, we will learn about journal entries in the books of consignor as well as journal entries in the books of consignee in next classes. All the syllabus and about these notes I will give you in PDF format. We will see in next audio, in next video. Until then, bye.